politics. That's a dirty game, and we just want to pray. We want to be good Christians. We want to stay in our churches. Well, this is what I say. You tell me if I'm too harsh here. Okay, if you're commanded to love God and thy neighbour as thyself, which is pretty basic, right? So your next door neighbour is starving, and you're a very pious Christian. Your next door neighbour is starving. You've got a pantry full of food, but you will not help them. You don't give them anything. Is that a sin?
Yes.
Absolutely, it's a sin. So your town has been flooded. The river has overflowed the banks, stop banks, and everybody's down there manning the pumps and putting up sandbags and trying to save the business district. And everybody's down there doing it, and you're the local pastor, and you just sit at home all day praying. Is that a sin?
Yes.
Okay. So if your country that has done more to spread the gospel than any other, that has saved more people from poverty and tyranny than any other, that has built more hospitals and churches than any other, that is built on biblical principles, that is a constitution that comes directly out of Mosaic law, when that country is going to hell in a handbasket, and you think you are so pious and so above it all that you have no responsibility for that whatsoever and ignore your responsibilities, is that a sin? And what are the wages of sin, people? This is, I go back to, this is, I'm glad you asked this because I could go on about this. Look, you go back to Nazi Germany in the 30s. There was only one force in Germany that had the numbers and the moral authority to stop the Nazis, and that was German Christianity. They could have stood up and done something, but they chose not to. They chose to become good Nazi Christians. They put swastikas in their churches. There's a famous story, I don't know if it's true, but it's a famous story about a little church in Germany and right next to a railway track. And a train pulls up and stops outside. And it's got boxcars. And this bang, let us out, let us out. It's Jews going to Auschwitz. And they're screaming, let us out, let us out, let us out. And what did the German Christians do? They sang louder. And then, so we got a war. Hundreds of thousands of young American Christian boys had to go and sort the mess out. Is it fair to say that the blood of World War II was on the heads of the German Christians who didn't do enough? Is that too harsh? Well, we are facing the same thing now, people. And the other little argument I get is, well, don't worry, because the rapture's imminent, And look, the worse things get, the happier they get, because that means Jesus is just around the corner. Well, for a start, we don't get to set the timetable. That could be 1,000 years, that could be 10,000 years, it could be tomorrow. But because you think the rapture's imminent, you have every right to abandon your social responsibilities. So the rapture's imminent, I say, okay, you think the rapture's imminent, you don't have to be involved in politics. Are you going to stop paying your mortgage? Are you going to stop mowing your lawn? Are you going to stop changing your underwear? Well, why not? You're so confident that it doesn't matter anymore. We are told to occupy till he comes, are we not? And we don't get to decide that. But we are given the greatest country the world has ever seen. We are given all these principles to guide ourselves with. And we know that Christians are supposed to be active in the community 24/7. Not 2 hours on Sunday. It is supposed to be a full-time occupation. So how can any pastor, worth his name, say they have no responsibility for the stewardship of this country and still call themselves a Christian? Might be a little harsh here. Because these people think they're just so superior to us because we get our hands dirty and we get involved in areas that are tough, but they are just so pious and they stay at home and they just collect the money and they're just so above it. Sorry?